So I did an art show with my friend Mike uh, 2 Fridays ago, and it did not go well. I didn't sell a single thing. However, I learned a lot about doing art shows. I've done craft shows, art and craft shows before with my wife. She used to sell books for Usborne, which then became Paper Pie. And I used to try to sell portraits and wine bottles. And I sold a few things here and there. But this time was an actual just art show. I went without any expectations. Wasn't expecting on selling anything. There was some traffic, but I made so many mistakes. Jeez. Handing out my business cards, even though I have a QR code on the back of the card, I wasn't having people scan it there on the spot in front of me. I was just handing the cards out. I had one person follow me on Instagram. So that was definitely something I learned, is just before I even hand them the business card, have them scan the QR code, then give them the card. The other thing, I was giving away free comics from Free Comic Book Day. I used to own a comic book shop. So I have a ton. I have hundreds, or maybe almost 1,000 free comic books from Free Comic Book Day, which did cost me money. That's a misconception. The stores do have to buy those. So they cost me about 30 cents a piece, plus shipping. So about 33, 35 cents a piece. But I give them out for Halloween instead of candy. And when I do things like this, like these types of events, I use them to draw people to my table. But because this was more of an adult show, it wasn't like an all ages kind of craft show. It was at night. So it was going to be mostly adults. So it was, beer and stuff. And calling people over with an offer of a free comic book was not really working. And a lot of them were just coming over, taking a look at the comic books, maybe grabbing the comic and completely skipping out on looking at the rest of the table to see what I had on display. So that was another big thing I learned. And I learned several other things that we'll discuss throughout the course of this show. You'll learn some of it on this episode, but you'll see. I'll talk about them when we set up for the next show as well, for the next two shows, because they're back to back, one after the other. And I'll talk about some of the things that I've changed on my setup and on things I've been doing. In any case, here's the show, and this is what we've done for this week. So, enjoy.
In the city late at night, dark father brings the fight. But here comes the shining light, the sufficient six take flight.
It's going to be a busy week because I have to sew a bunch of patches on the vests for the girls in my daughter's Girl Scout troop. And no, I don't use the iron-on option. I use good old needle and thread. Nothing beats that. Colleen, I'm going to go get Kaylee. Should I represent?
Oh my god.
The troop?
I want to take a picture so bad, but can I?
So I'm doing 2 art shows at the end of the month,
yeah.
and I have to sort through the bag that I take to all my shows and trim it down because I'm sharing a table with a friend of mine, Mike. I'll show you a portrait I did of him in a little bit, but both of these events are very different. One is a family event, one is more an adult event. In any case, I ordered some business cards. This is the one for people who are more interested in like custom portraits, wine bottles, things like that. And this one is more for people who are more interested in original art. And I have my a QR code for my Instagram, and there's my phone number. I also ordered some stickers to sell, and I made this huge mistake of ordering the sticker, the same design for the sticker as for my business card, which is so dumb because who's going to buy my sticker when they can get my business card, which is the same exact size and everything, for free. But anyway, these are some of the works that I have to sort through and cut out some of these because they're not all going to fit on a half of a 6-foot table. But I do want to show some photorealistic, some creative stuff like this one, which has a collage of comic book as a background for this portrait. And this one, I use a newspaper print as the background. This one, I actually digitized it. I'm going to make prints of it. And I'll probably auction the original off for charity. And then I have a couple more portraits. This is my favorite one I've done. I love doing animals, and this one came out so good, but it's hard to see from far, so I definitely cannot use that one. Another thing I learned from doing a couple of shows in the last couple months, keeping these bagged like this is terrible, especially at night. All the fake lights reflect way too much off of these bags. But it sucks because we're in South Florida, so if it's an outdoor event and it rains, it could ruin these works. It's really annoying. These I keep on hand to show people who don't know anything about comics what a blank sketch cover is, especially people who most likely like to do their pets, you know, feral and stray dogs. Animal casts are really good for that. This is my friend Mike. I did a sketch of him. I'm doing a sketch of myself as well because as people pass by the table, they really had no way to know that what I was selling was portraits of people, of real people. So I figured if they see a portrait of the two people sitting at the table, it would trigger more of a quicker understanding of what it is I'm selling.
We decided that we're
just
going
at a
to go
glance.
Super controversial, just go at it hard. So today's topic is of AI in art. My co-host, my twin brother. And if we sound alike, sorry, I know this is going to be a little weird for people listening because our voices sound very similar. I have the sexier voice, but sometimes people...
I have the manlier voice, for sure.
Sometimes people get us confused, so, you know, unfortunately, we're twin brothers.
To train them, you need the data set, and the data set comes from existing art. And realistically, the creators of these AI models aren't going to go to every single artist in the world and ask their permission to use their art.
Some people think is that AI is just copy pasting little bits and pieces from other people's art and making like a Frankenstein's monster version of a piece. But no piece would come out cohesive the way it does if that was the case. That doesn't actually work that way.
Apps that they generate an AI image and then it generates a time-lapse drawing of that image to make it look like you drew it. So now there's even that. And why would you even create that unless you want to purposely deceive people?
Yeah.
One of the two shows I'm doing at the end of the month isn't really a good fit for selling custom portraits of people and low-end stuff. It's better for original art. So I've had to start churning out some original art on canvas that I could sell, but also that I can make prints out of, so I can sell more expensive prints than what I've been selling in my other shows. And today I started this piece, which is basically a fat Ronald McDonald looking all sleazy, and it looks like he's smoking and offering cigarettes to the viewer, but it's actually an envelope of fries, and he's got a fry hanging out of his mouth. And I'm going to use real McDonald's fries because word on the street is they don't decay, so I will actually incorporate real McDonald's fries on my piece, and one will be jutting out, sticking out to the viewer. And I'll do a video about this piece and why I made it, but it's coming out pretty cool, I think.
Oi! I can't believe it, like a little girl. I can't believe it.